Hey everyone, and welcome to Love Dogs. We all think we've got our furry friends figured out. But what if I told you that some of the things we believe most are just flat out wrong? Today we are diving deep into one of the biggest ones, those slobbery licks. Is it really just a cute little kiss? Well, the answer might surprise you. Let's get right into it.
All right, let's start with a quick quiz for you. Have you always believed that classic rule? You know the one, that 1 human year equals 7 dog years? I mean, pretty much everyone has heard that, right? Okay, and what about this one? Do you think that every single time your dog licks you, it's just a simple, loving kiss? It feels that way for sure, but there is so much more going on beneath the surface, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So, it's time to separate the myths from the real facts. Our goal here is pretty simple. By the time we're done, you're going to have a whole new understanding of your best friend. First up, let's talk about some of those daily habits, the little quirks you see all the time, but maybe don't fully understand. Okay, let's start with a classic scenario. You're out for a walk, maybe at the park, and all of a sudden, your dog just starts chomping on grass. The old story is, oh, they must feel sick, they're trying to throw up. But is that really what's going on? Well, researchers at UC Davis actually looked into this, and what they found is pretty wild. It turns out, of all the dogs that eat grass, only about 22% actually end up vomiting. And get this, less than 10% even seem sick before they started eating it. So the numbers just don't add up. So what does that mean? Well, most of the time, it's not about being sick at all. It could just be boredom, a little bit of anxiety, or, hey, maybe it's just one of their weird, quirky habits. A quick heads up, though, always be mindful of grass that could have pesticides on it. And if it seems like they're eating it obsessively, it's never a bad idea to have a quick chat with your vet. All right, here's another one you've probably heard a million times. A tired dog is a happy dog. And I get it, right? There's nothing better than seeing your pup conked out after a fun day. But just completely exhausting them physically isn't the whole picture when it comes to true happiness. See, a truly happy dog needs balance. That physical exercise is super important, no doubt, but they also need to work their brains. We're talking puzzle toys, learning new commands, stuff like that. A fulfilled, happy dog is one that's challenged both physically and mentally. It's not just about being tired. Okay, so now let's shift gears a bit and try to see the world through their eyes. There are some huge myths out there about how they actually perceive things. Remember that whole 7-year rule we talked about? Well, let's just toss that one out the window. It's way off. Think about it. A dog's first year is more like 15 human years. They go from puppy to young adult so fast. And after that, their size plays a massive role. Small dogs and large dogs age at totally different rates. So that simple 1-to-7 formula? Yeah, it just doesn't hold up. And how about the way they see? For the longest time, everyone thought dogs only saw in black and white. But the truth is way cooler than that. Their world is actually painted in shades of blue, yellow, and gray. Now, colors like red and green, to them, those probably just look like a kind of muddy brown. So they absolutely see color. It's just a different palette than ours. All right, this next one, every single dog owner knows exactly what I'm talking about. You walk in the door, you see the trash can knocked over or a pillow de-stuffed, and there's your dog with that look. The droopy ears, the sad eyes, the guilty look. It's so tempting to think, oh, he knows he did something bad. But here's the thing. They're not feeling guilt like a person does. What's really happening is that dogs are absolute masters at reading us. They see our tense shoulders, they hear the tone in our voice, and that guilty face, that's actually a sign of submission. They're basically saying, whoa, my human is upset. I need to show them I'm not a threat. They're not apologizing. They're reacting to your anger. And that brings us to the main event. The reason we're all here. It's time to finally get to the bottom of the big question. Why does your dog really lick you? Now, let's be clear. A lot of the time, licking is a good thing. It's absolutely a way for them to bond with you, to show affection. They're also kind of tasting you, gathering information from the salt and scents on your skin. And the act itself can release endorphins that make them feel calm and happy.
But, and this is a really important but, that's not the whole story. There's another side to this, a downside, that a lot of people just don't know about.
Okay, so here's the deal. A dog's mouth has a lot of bacteria in it, things like capnocytophaga. Now, it's usually harmless to them, but for us, it can be risky, especially if that saliva gets into a cut or a scrape. And there's another thing. Sometimes, when a dog is licking you over and over and over again, it's not affection. It's actually a sign that they're feeling anxious or stressed. So the key is to pay attention to the situation and, always wash up afterward. So when we put all these pieces together, what does it all mean? Well, it leads us to a much deeper way of thinking about our bond with our dogs. Look, busting these myths isn't about taking the fun out of having a dog. It's the opposite. It's about learning to see the world the way they see it. And when you can do that, you build a stronger, more honest connection than you ever thought possible. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Now that you know all this, what's one thing, one little habit your dog has that you're going to look at totally differently from now on? Really understanding your dog is the best gift you can give them. And hey, if you loved digging into this stuff and want to find even more ways to strengthen that incredible bond, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button for the Love Dogs channel. We'd love to have you. Thanks so much for watching.